here and see if we can, all right. There we go. Well, hey guys, I'm excited. It's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Man, I don't even know what day this is, but I know in a couple hours I'll be catching another flight headed east. Next stop, Mumbai, India. And then after that, over into Thailand, then Vietnam, and it's going to be a hectic week making some things happen. But ladies and gentlemen, real excited to be coming to you this morning. It's Monday morning here. And, you know, it's been a real good month so far. And I'm so excited because today we did an event here in London, and the folks were really very excited for me to be here. It's an event that was planned for quite a while, and you know, at first we weren't sure that I'd be able to get here, but definitely was able to get it into the calendar. And you know, we talked a lot about some things, but what was really incredible, and while I didn't share it across the board to everyone, I was so excited to see some brand new sapphires. There were some promotions being done, and some brand new sapphires here, and brand new rubies and emeralds. And I actually highlighted in one of the groups a brand new emerald that's a 1-month emerald. And what's so funny, and guys, I say this to you because you got to understand that maybe it's time for us to set the bar a little higher. Over the last couple of days, we talked about the last couple of sessions, we talked about raising the bar. We wanted to raise the bar, and that was part of the art of the launch session that we've been covering for the last few weeks. But raising the bar really comes down to doing what you know you've got to do, and you know, setting a new set of standards and a new set of paradigms. And I hope I can cover everything that I really have on my mind tonight. You know, the call goes so quick, the time goes so fast, and I'm hoping that some of you, and I have no problem if you want to be interactive. I see some of you already chatting up in the chat room over there, so don't hesitate to add your comments and, you know, give your feedback. But ladies and gentlemen, even before we get into the call, I want to thank each and every one of you. Don't know if it was you or someone you know or someone who, you know, may have prompted you. But right now, I want to thank you guys for those great birthday wishes. I still haven't had a chance to respond to every single comment or birthday wish, but I want to truly thank you from the bottom of my heart for you guys thinking enough of me to just share that moment, share that day, share that instance with me. You know, it just means a lot. Okay, but guys, we're rocking and rolling here, and tonight our global mentorship call is really going to delve into change. Today, when I was training, you know, we talked a lot about the change process. Okay, and you know, folks were excited. Now, mind you, we had just got done doing promotions for some first month sapphires, rubies, and a first month emerald. We had a 2-week ruby, also went emerald, you know, and it was just like, wow, you know, it just gave me such honor and such pleasure to see that, because I've said it over and over, I've said it time and time again, and I mean it, and I ain't gonna change it. I'm not gonna take it back. I'm not gonna go back on my word, but money likes speed, okay? And I'm going to tell you, you are in the opportunity. You are at the right time to capitalize and take full advantage of the speed and this opportunity, so that you can create the monetary environment that you really want. Now, you can let me know if for real, you want to make some changes that'll bring about the financial situation that you want in your life. And real talk is, you've got to be prepared. You've got to be really excited about making that change. And sometimes it's going to take some work. And I want to leave you with some tools today. I got my notes out here, just going back, and what's so cool, some of you guys are gonna trip out, because when I got here, I was so fortunate. I'd already left luggage here in London, so I really kind of just carried some. I just packed some carry-on, and I got here, and my stuff was here in London, and here it was. This was here for me. This was waiting right here. This is my $5 million journal. I don't know if you guys ever seen a $5 million journal. Had anyone ever seen a $5 million journal? No, it didn't cost $5 million. Matter of fact, when I bought it, it had nothing but blank pages, you know. I put a little sticker on it with my phone number because it was one of those. It was almost like, don't say I lost it and you found it and here's the number to return it. This sticker was to say, hey, this is mine. Don't you touch it because I'm going to find you. This journal didn't cost $5 million. The journal was, as I said, blank, had some blank pages like every journal starts out with. But what this journal has represented is information that's been gathered over a period of time and has translated into millions of dollars. And last count, I kind of stopped counting when we got to about $5 million. But again, I think everyone should have one of these. Don't know if you have your camera on and you're sitting there taking notes, you may be taking notes into your journal. And though your journal may not be worth $5 million yet, you keep on doing what you're doing, and you can raise up your journal. Let me see if you've got one. But at some point in time, your journal is going to be so valuable because of the information that you put in that years and years and years later, like this particular segment we're touching tonight, watch this. It's dated December 3rd, 2010. Okay, it's 2010. I'm going back. All right, I see a couple of journals. But this particular lesson really comes down to the fact that you've got to change, because you see, if you are exactly where you want to be right now, then there's no need to change, okay? Meaning that if you're financially as situated and your lifestyle is exactly the way you want it, and everything that goes on is just the way you had it all planned and you desire, then there's really no need to pay attention to this segment, because there probably isn't any need for you to make a change, okay? All right, somebody said they're not hearing me. Can you just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Just give me a thumbs up. Awesome, great. I see a couple of thumbs going up. All right, so I'm going to make the assumption maybe it's on your end. So go ahead and check that. You might want to press the unmute function on your phone, okay? But we're going to stay in the realm of making sure that there's some change going on and that you're prepared for change. And making change in your life is not an accident. You have to be very deliberate. You have to be very, very focused in order to make it happen, because there are some very key components that bring about change. And I'm going to touch on this for you, okay? Everybody ready? Now, please let me know if you're ready. If you are ready and you ain't scared, okay? In Atlanta, we'd say you ain't scared. But if you're not scared, if you're not afraid to make a change that will bring about a better situation, you can go ahead and let me know. But in order for change to really take effect, you've got to go through these respective phases. You've got to go through these respective phases. The good news about it, and let me go back, the good news about it is that after I take you through these phases, you're going to get the real meat of the order. You're going to get to the real meat of tonight's session, which is a financial formula. Is everybody ready to have their success formula outlined? Let me just see if I'm getting some inbox messages. Is everyone ready for that? Your success formula, the formula that helps you identify that it really is time for you to have that major shift in your lifestyle, that major shift in your income, that major shift in everything that occurs within your life. You're with me on this? Well, let's break down these three phases. Let's start first with the awareness, okay? Now, what's so cool is because I actually trained on this without the notes today, because it kind of hit me spontaneously, because as one of the prior presenters was doing their segment, they were actually doing a segment on the vision for 2017. Now, I'm hoping that by now many of you have taken some time to either build your vision board, or you may have outlined your vision for what 2017 will hold for you. But understand something. If you do the same old thing that you did to get what you got, you're going to get the same old thing that you got when you did what you did. Okay, you might have to catch the playback to get that in case you didn't know. But in order to not get the same old thing that you got, you're going to have to do something different than you did to get what you got. Come on now, you with me? All right, I'm hoping you're with me. So when you look at these phases, I was prompted and I was stimulated by a song. Michael Jackson was the underlying song. Okay, Michael Jackson. They were playing Michael Jackson, and you know, some of you might be Michael Jackson fans. I'm trying to see if we got a little bit of background noise. See if you can, if you've got your phone on mute or you've got your computer wide open, go ahead and click mute. It'll help me out here for anyone new that's joining the call. But, you know, the Michael Jackson, and I know many of you all know Michael Jackson, but, you know, this particular song was really the real catalyst for where we began. And the phrase that really caught my attention in Michael's song was, "I'm starting with the man, whoa man," because, you know, some people ask me, why you keep saying man, Mr. Hartley? Why you keep saying man? Well, I'm going to tell you, it can be whoa man as well. But Michael said, "I'm starting with the man in the mirror." All right. So in order to make a change, and you know, he talked about that, make that change, right? In order to make the change, the first phase comes with awareness. Now, what that really translates into is, you know, come on, you got to take a look and say, am I where I want to be? And am I doing the things each and every day that will get me beyond where I am, because I'm not where I want to be? But only you can make that decision. See, not I. Not I. I will not be that person who will make you or prompt you or even precipitate the change that has to take place in you. That's going to be on you. The best that I can do for some of you who I may be considered coach or mentor or, you know, leader or guide or whatever you might want to call me, the best I can do is put you on the path. Now, I'm going to assume some of you want to be on the path. Some of you may just like being on the call because at this time of night, you just like to be in a community environment. But let me know if you're ready to make a change and you're ready to understand the steps that are taken for you to transcend where you are and really bring a whole nother meaning to what Einstein said. Einstein stated that the thoughts that you currently possess are those same thoughts that got you into the situation that you're currently in. And that those thoughts will not get you out of your situation to where you want to go. Okay? But the key to it, you're looking in the mirror and having that awareness. You have got to say, yes, if it's going to be, it starts with me. I am the root cause of all the circumstances that I'm dealing with in my life. You see, I can notice that the chat box has gotten kind of quiet. Nobody wants to acknowledge anything. Nobody wants to let me know that, you know, see, y'all are muted. I'm not, but I want to know that you're hearing me. I know you can see me. I know you can tell that something's happening over here in London, England, that we're here bringing a message at 2:15 in the morning. But let me understand that you recognize that everything that's going on in your life, in your situation, in your business has the root causal effect is you. The root causal effect is you. Can't blame your upline, can't blame your sideline, can't blame your sponsor, can't blame mama or daddy, or in some cases, like they forced me to have to talk about the spouse and the significant other today, because I just wanted to leave it, because some people just want to blame mama and daddy. You know, don't tread that line very closely. Don't tread across that thin line of blaming the spouse, because, you know, they say happy wife is a happy life. I don't know all about that, but you guys can tell me if it's true. What I want you to know, though, you can't blame a single person except that man or woman in the mirror. All right, somebody's sending me some hate mail. No, that's some good mail. Sorry, I was checking on that. Had to go look at it. But see, the awareness. You have to be able to say, yeah, it's me. So when you look at it, you have to be able to start saying, okay, I'm aware I'm not getting what I have determined I'm supposed to get. I've determined I'm supposed to get something, but I'm not quite getting it yet. And I'm wondering, why am I not getting it? So the first thing you got to do is start looking at you. Are you showing the plan enough? Are you actually exposing the business enough to enough people? Are you qualifying the people at the right time? Are you putting enough people into the funnel? Are you doing all the things? Are you doing what you're supposed to do to get what you're supposed to get? Or are you kind of just coasting and kind of going like the lily in the pond, wherever the wind may blow and wherever the tide may take you? You see, when you take control, the first thing to be able to get where you want to go is to be able to have the awareness. Say, it ain't right. And it's okay, because there are a lot of variables that come into whether it's right or it's not for you. You make that determination, but it's okay. The variables could have been circumstances from the past that prompted you to behave the way you behave, but the way it is right now can change, but it starts with awareness. The next phase, which is so highly critical and important as well, is acceptance. Okay, I'm aware. It's me. If it's going to be, it starts with me. It's me. Somebody type in for me. It's me. I get it. It's all me. It ain't the sponsor. It ain't mom, ain't dad. It's me. It's all me. It's on me. If I haven't hit my sapphire position yet, that's on me. If I haven't hit my ruby position, though I've been saying it for 6 months, that's on me. If I said I want to be diamond and want to be free, if I said I want to take my family to a whole nother level, if I said I want to free my wife or my husband and I ain't done it yet, that's on, let me type it, me. I must have, somehow I'm in somebody's private message. I ain't mean to pick on you, okay? I want to send this to everybody. I don't want this one person to feel like I'm picking on them. Here we go. It's on me. You see, guys, it's on me. So the good, the bad, the ugly rests on me. So once the awareness is that it's all me, now you got to accept it. Because only when you accept it, then you can go into the phase that's the real work. And it really, if we want to keep it with the awareness and the acceptance and the action, let me give you the defining word for the action, which is the reconditioning. You see, somebody in this session tonight is going to have to start taking responsibility for the reconditioning of me. Yeah, you helped you to get where you are. You've been accepting where you are. You've allowed where you are to be what you are. And now you have to take some action, but the action has to be predetermined and defined so that you can recondition. Is there anyone who wants to kind of, believe with me on that one? You see, you can choose not to believe with me. You can still choose to say, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. Because guess what? You can be good, and that's all good. I'm not going to question you. Matter of fact, I always say to people, when they fail to hit their goals, that's not on me to chastise you or criticize you or comment on you or, condemn you. No, I'm going to love on you. Matter of fact, I trained a little while ago. I don't remember which session it was, but I said, what happens when somebody has shown you that they're not who they say they are, even after you've planned and you've launched them and they've not gotten where it is they said they were going to do and they haven't done what they said they were going to do? What do you do with them? I told you, love on them. So those people who have made a decision to not recondition, not take the action to alter the existing situation, guess what you're going to get from me? Somebody say, he going to love on you. Look, I'm going to love on you all the way from London, England. It's 2:20 in the morning and I'm showing you nothing but love. You see, because that's all I can do. That's all I can do is with the love that has been given from the man up above that I can now share with you, so that one day, even if it's not today, you may decide to take that action and recondition yourself. Is there anyone in the room who's willing to challenge themselves to recondition themselves, not now, but right now? You see, that's where it gets interesting. But I'll tell you something. I told you I got nothing but love. How many of y'all believe me? I got nothing but love. I got love. I'm gonna show love. I'm gonna give you that. See, some people ain't buying in. Wait, let me see if I can change the view. I want to change it. No, I'm gonna leave the view just the way it is. I was gonna see how many faces I could see. Because somebody's over there like, rolling their eyes, shaking their head. He ain't gonna love on me. He gonna keep score. Yes, he will keep score, but he will still love on you. And the only reason I'm going to keep score is because I'm going to keep track of how many times you done told me you're going to change, but you ain't changed yet. And I'm going to make that a basis for how I allocate my time. See, my mentor told me, don't ever give unproductive Don't ever give productive time to unproductive resources. And that don't mean anything bad. It just means that I can't allocate to you what I can't see as being appropriate in terms of resources. So if you're not productive, you can't get, let me see, who said that? Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Love is a key ingredient of leadership. I got love for you. See, I'm a leader. I'm a lover. All right. But see, the key is when you make that decision to recondition, you have to go through the reconditioning. So there's some action. Yes or yes? Are we in agreement? There is some action. Well, the action you're going to get from me is love to you, whether you fail, succeed, have a breakdown, a mental disaster. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to love on you. What you have to decide you're going to do is now take the action to recondition. And there's two segments within that. Because the only reason somebody's going to go through the challenge and the method in which they're going to have to take this action is going to fall into two very specific categories. I hope y'all ready for that one. Okay, I hope you're ready for this one. It's going to fall into two very specific categories. The first category is going to be space repetition. Now, space repetition, ladies and gentlemen, is basically when you learn to do the same things over and over. Now, that's a little dangerous right there, guys. So take a little note here. Please, I hope you're taking notes on this one. Space repetition, while it sounds good, it's very dangerous. It's dangerous only because the space repetition means that you're going to do a lot of the same actions over and over and over. You see, some people came up thinking that practice makes perfect. Y'all ever heard that? Practice makes perfect. You ever heard that? Practice? Somebody let me know if you heard that. Practice makes perfect. No, it's actually not true, because you could practice the wrong things and you will never achieve perfection. You could be practicing the wrong things and never achieve perfection. But you have to practice perfection in order to receive perfection. Hope you got that with me now. See, so you have to be prepared to know what to practice, and within that space time, that continuum, you have to have the appropriate repetition. Okay, somebody said last week I didn't take a breath. I think I'm gonna take a breath today, because you know I can go. You know, it don't take much for me to keep on going. So I'm gonna take a breath so that maybe some of you can, catch up on what I just said. But it's that space repetition. You have got to become expert in replicating your behavior. And if you are fortunate like I was, okay, and many of you are, because you have been brought into a realm where you have a good example by which you can follow. You've got an example of someone whose activity, whose work ethic, whose habit, whose results are edifiable, and you can then go ahead and do those same things over and over and over, which means it takes the guesswork. It takes the guesswork. It takes the guesswork out of it. You don't have to go home, sit and figure out and say, well, I got to go ahead and put together a strategy on how I'm going to get this done. You see, you don't have to do that because the strategy has already been established. Last week we talked about, and the week before we talked about the art of the launch. If by chance you were on those sessions or you caught the playback and up to this moment you have not gotten together with your leader, your coach, your mentor, or whomever is your success partner and established your process to execute, that's on you. Once again, that's on you. But the encouragement is that now that you know, you can't say you don't know. You see, you don't know what you don't know, but God knows. Now you heard it. You heard it first from me. I shared with you. There's a process by which you can compress time and that you can stimulate momentum. And with momentum, that speed comes what? The speed likes money, and money likes speed. So you've got this space repetition. And the only thing you have to do within the realm of space repetition is to be assured that which you're doing is congruent, consistent, and conducive to your success. Congruent, consistent, and conducive to your success. I hope you got that one. Congruent, consistent, and conducive to your success. But the space repetition is absolutely important. Now, okay, someone's sharing their screen. You can go ahead and try not to press those buttons. Let me see who's sharing. Gavin, please disconnect the sharing. Let me I love when that starts to happen. Let me just go ahead and, all right. Let's see. All right, good. Thank you. Thanks. I was just about to take over again. Thanks, but try not to press that green button right there. So other than the space repetition, there's another way in which change will occur. Y'all ready for this? The change that can occur when not in space repetition will be emotional impact. Let me kind of bring this one up, and we don't have to spend a whole lot of time here, but you may actually just go ahead and crash. You may go ahead and hit that wall. You may go ahead and hit a roadblock. And all of a sudden there is a emotional, there's a psychological, there's a interrupt. You see, when you have that emotional impact, you see, you can't be going down the road 40 miles an hour and just abruptly stop and there not be some impact, some effect. And there, in the case of the habits and the change, it becomes an emotional impact. With the emotional impact also comes a psychological interrupt. And these things are necessary in order for you to stop and say, hold up, I can't do this. And I'm going to use some improper colloquialism and proper grammar so that you'll understand. I want to just kind of emphasize it, because you're reaching a point where emotional impact comes into play and you're saying, I can't do this no more. I can't take no more. I can't do this. I can't allow this. I can't be less than what my potential has allowed me to be. Now, I'm gonna let y'all just kind of resonate on that one, because again, somebody said last week that I ain't take a breath. Today it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I want to take a breath. I even want to get some water. So y'all stay right there with me. All right. Okay, I'm back. Awesome. So the emotional impact that confronts you is probably and potentially enough when it happens, if it happens, to make an abrupt change for you. Now, I would like to encourage you, because one is more severe than the other, and I'm sure you can tell, okay? Because you can either put your foot on the brake, slow down, and change direction, or you can crash into the wall and realize you can't go no further in that direction. Does that make sense, everyone? Everyone with me? So the correlation is that the space repetition is that you're taking positive steps to change your course, to alter the process, alter the direction of what's going on in your life, what's going on in your business, what's going on in your family, what's going on in your relationships, what's going on in your finances. You can take the appropriate steps through space repetition, or you can go through emotional impact, okay? Lose all your money in the casino because you don't want to stop gambling? Well, guess what? There's the emotional impact. I hope you get the picture, right? No, ain't nobody on this call like to gamble in the casino, right? Hold on, wait a second. Let me go ahead and bet on this blackjack table right over here. No, seriously, all jokes aside, guys, it's real talk, because you have to be prepared to make that decision, to make the change at the appropriate time so that you can get the appropriate results. I made a little notation here, and you know, when you look at certain things, you know, the oak tree that is planted deeply and grows very strong, okay? When that oak tree becomes very strong and it has its roots so deeply and its trunk so wide, you know what, it's not going to change directions. But there are some seasons and some seasonal, I like to call it some seasonal flowers, and especially at this time of the year, some poinsettias. Poinsettias are always coming and going. They don't grow together. They're different. They're aside and they're apart. Okay, they're different because they're coexistence. They can't coexist, and I want you to know that you can't have the success that you desire when you're not willing to make a change. Does that make sense? You've got to be prepared to uproot and change and move and do something different if that's how you want to get there. But you know, the truth of it is, most of us aren't willing to recondition. All right. I like the fact that you know, when you're reconditioning, you're redesigning the person. And someone asked me today, a lady asked me today, she said, well, how do you, and I was talking to them, you know, you got to understand, in London, they don't really understand what the word swag, now, I mean, some people did, but there were a few people that understand swag. and I use her. Somebody picked up on it. I used some definitions, and one of the definitions was aura. One of the definitions was style. One of the definitions was it. You either got it or you don't got it. And when she says, well, how do I improve my it? I said, it's real simple. You just look at someone who you see, an example of who has it, and then you can begin to emulate it. But it takes work, because if you don't got it, but you want it, you have to change it to become it. Oh, there's a process in there somewhere. If you don't got it, it's okay. Accept it. It's okay. Accept it. The awareness, the acceptance, and then the reconditioning, so that you can become that which is where you really want to be. Okay. I don't know. That's a long phrase in there, but I'm gonna check you on that, Gordon. Okay, Gordon, I'm gonna check you on that. Okay, I'm gonna definitely check you on that. But guys, I want you to really understand that the reconditioning is a requirement. You can't avoid it. Okay, and the amazing thing is when you do enough of the right things and you consistently develop those right habits, and you get on track to do those things consistently. Okay, and you don't know what you don't know. Okay, let me kind of give you a few segments that you might be experiencing. Okay, I've seen that a lot of new distributors, and some of you may have seen it as well, especially coming into this industry brand new. Okay, someone comes into the industry brand new, and the first segment is, the first stage of it is they don't know anything. Okay, and they're sitting like a brand new baby saying, "Teach me." That's the first segment. Teach me. I don't know anything. Okay, and I think that's probably one of the safest of places, because there's a submission, there's a surrender, there's a trust and a reliance in there, because that person is saying, teach me, I don't know anything and I need to know. And let me tell you why I like it, because you can really cultivate and develop some greatness when that is the case. But very rarely does it happen with people who are beyond, and I'm just going to call y'all out. By the time you're beyond the age of 30, by the time, and I'm looking around, I'm trying to see, maybe I should open up my screen and see, let's see who we seeing here. Yeah, I'm seeing some folks. I'm making some eye contact with some people. I'm seeing some heads nodding, and I see some eyes blinking, because once you pass that 30 age, it automatically, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, you start going into that, I love kind of looking at y'all, because I was looking at my view, but I'm looking at y'all, somebody like, don't you be pointing at me. I know you trying to tell me you talking to me. I am not talking to you. Just because my finger's pointing at you don't mean I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the person in the box next to you. But somebody ain't gonna be happy with me when I'm telling you all about that, because you see, after you get past that phase of I don't know anything, I am lost, teach me, there comes that next stage. Woo, it gets dangerous here. Gordon, you know what Gordon, we know about this one. That next stage is they know it all. Woo! Came in and said, I know all about that. You don't need to bother me. I'm a winner. I'm a pro. Haven't you read my resume? I was such and such in the previous deal. I see some people have a little trouble with this segment here. Oh, and don't you remember me? And oh yeah, and I'm sure you saw how I did it, and I'm about to do this. You go on about yourself and worry about them other people. I got this. Hashtag. That's the dangerous one, okay? That's the dangerous one. But then, this is where it gets even better than the new person, because this is when some real incredible change can take place, okay? This is the transformational stage, and this is, I know I don't know everything, okay? This is when the blessing comes your way. Is that okay with everyone? When the blessing comes your way? The blessing comes when you know that I don't know. I know I don't know everything, so I don't have to play like the brand new person who knows nothing. I would much rather the seasoned veteran who comes in and says, you know what? I know some things, and there are some areas for which I have already perfected and or developed. But in terms of what we're about to do and or engage in this particular situation, nope, I don't know everything. And I know I don't know everything. So you go ahead, take the wheel, and we'll go ahead and we'll knock this out together. You see, when that starts to happen, then you can have those situations of your first week sapphire with your 2-week ruby and your 4-week emerald. Does anyone say okay on that one? Is there anyone who would love to mirror image that kind of situation? Okay, maybe you want to do it a little bit better. Maybe you want to do it a little bit better. Maybe you want to go ahead and be your first week sapphire, second week ruby, third week emerald, and fourth week diamond. Come on, somebody can do it, because I think I was somewhere recently and I taught that stage 1. Where was I? Sean Terrell, we were down in Jamaica. So I don't know if there's anyone from Jamaica that's on this call, but I talked about that we can do it. And in each particular stage, as we're doing it and creating the right activity and the right structure in your business, you could literally, if you choose to, become a diamond in 4 weeks. But if you don't believe it can happen, then there's nothing we can do to help you get there. Okay? But know that once you know that you don't know everything, that's when some great things can happen. So here's what we're going to get into, because we've really just been setting the tone for what it is you need to kind of do for yourself. And I said kind of because I ain't want to, pick on anybody. I ain't want nobody to get no hurt feelings. But the reality of it is there is a formula that's designed for this to happen. Y'all ready for this? There's a formula. The formula is very simple, and it's almost like an equation. And it's a simple one. It is D plus S times F equals success. All right, so let me go ahead and put it in there. D plus S times F equals success. Y'all good with that? I think everyone can see it, right? That's D plus S times F equals success. So what's the D? Here it is. D represents your desire. Your S represents your skill. And the F represents your belief, your faith. Okay? You see, it has to go in order. And what's so amazing and how I made the decision that we were going to train on this tonight was because after having all these folks in this segment, in this training segment, we did a meeting after the meeting with a dinner and all the top leaders, and I shared with them some information after we had eaten, and I talked about why I didn't want to tell everybody in the segment. I had to resist the urge to train on something that I knew wouldn't be right and be easily received by the masses, but it would be very appropriate for this select group. So I had to personally resist the urge to teach them what I needed to teach them in a larger group and wait till we were down to, I don't even know how many it was. Maybe there were 20 of us at dinner or 18, whatever that number was. Because in that more concentrated group of very, very filtered and segmented individuals, I knew that they can understand that at some point in time, within that desire and within that skill and within that faith, there was going to be a need for sacrifice. Is there anyone in this segment tonight? Yes, it's a larger segment than we even had at dinner, but are you prepared and are you willing to sacrifice something? Are you prepared and are you willing to sacrifice something? Well, let's get into it and let's talk about it, because maybe at the very end, you may decide to sacrifice something. You may make a decision. And you know what? Let me tell you something. When we hang up and when we're done with this, there are going to be some people, and I always appreciate it when I get those text messages that says it's a great message and it was a great call and it was a great training and it was a this and a that and a blah, 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 blah. I appreciate that. But you know what's more important is when I can see you then take the information that you've just heard, and then now throughout the day, tomorrow, and the week, during the week, you start making the transformation. I love talking about the discomfort that comes. And I don't know if you guys know anything about, let me see if my buddy here, Amarachi, if you're on the line, go ahead and just drop me a little message, because I loved, this particular message he shared with me, which is something I knew, but I hadn't even thought about introducing it, but I'll share it in this particular segment, because there are times where we can't see that we must sacrifice. We must become uncomfortable. We must endure the pain of the sacrifice. Okay? We must endure the sacrifice in order to grow. Is everyone okay with that? We must endure the sacrifice. And so the example we were talking about, Amarachi and I were sharing this last week, but it's about the lobster. And if you know anything about the lobster is a soft, mushy, there you go, Amarachi. Appreciate you, brother. But that soft, mushy, a sea being that on the inside, it's a soft, I don't even know how to really, very tissuey kind of being, okay? But it's protected by this very tough, hard shell. And those of you who's ever seen a lobster, you know the configuration of a lobster. But what most people don't realize is that as the lobster grows, the lobster's shell does not adapt. The lobster shell is stringent and restrictive. The lobster shell is containing so that as the lobster grows inside the shell, there comes a significant degree. Somebody, come on, Tim, you could have shared it with everybody. Tim, you could have shared it with everybody. It's all good. It wouldn't have, you just got to the punchline before I got to. But what happens is that lobster has to shed the shell. The lobster has to seek refuge. That lobster goes into a private place under a rock and sheds the shell because there is no way that growth will take place while the lobster is in that restrictive shell. Come on, somebody, because if we were together, I tell you to look at your neighbor. Matter of fact, turn to the left and look at the box to the left and tell that person, you got to lose that shell. You got to let that shell go, because you see, somebody is still trying to grow, but they're holding on to their restrictive shell. So what the lobster does, like Tim, there you go. So Tim just shared with us, he was talking to me privately, but Tim just shared with us that yes, what the lobster does is it sheds its restrictive shell and it goes up under the rock, and it then allows the new shell, which allows for and accommodates for the larger being of the lobster it accommodates, but it ain't gonna last forever. You see, you gotta understand something, because with growth, there has to be an adaptation. There has to be a transformation. Yes or yes? So there it is. In order for the lobster to grow, they got to shed their shell. They've got to take refuge. They've got to go ahead and do that process that allows them to grow. But here's the irony. As the lobster continues to grow through their process, they will shed that shell and repeat that process several times. So those of you who are looking at me and say, why does man always get on the call talking about we got to change some things? Why does man always talking about I've got to raise the bar, I've got to become better? Why does man keep telling me I've got to get involved with more personal development, I've got to read more, I've got to listen more, I've got to attend more sessions, I've got to be in the environment with the collaboratively thought, the minded people, the collective body, so that we can absolutely, no, I ain't preaching, I'm just telling you what I know. You see, you gotta be in this environment, because those who think that they can circumvent this process, guess what? Look up and tell somebody, because you are that lobster in that tight little restrictive shell. Stop playing with me now. Because if you ain't prepared to shed that shell and go through the pain of breaking out the shell and allow yourself to be exposed, you're trying to tell me you ain't gonna let me see your vulnerability. You see, the lobster had to shed the shell, become absolutely vulnerable, so that they can then rebuild and regroup to become a more enhanced being. Somebody is going to go online and find that video where I talked about surrender your will to secure your wealth. Because I had them, we pulled it up on the big screen and showed everybody. Because sometimes you must surrender it all. You must become absolutely vulnerable. You must become absolutely exposed. You must be just like that lobster who says, I ain't gonna stay this way because it's too uncomfortable to stay this way. You see, I'm not even sure if there's anybody on this call that is okay. You may not even be realizing how uncomfortable you are, because the mindset may have just adjusted and said, I guess I'm okay. I guess I'm okay living under my standard. I guess I'm okay driving the hoopty. I guess I'm okay not being able to, oh yeah, I said hoopty. I guess I'm okay not being able to go where I want to go, do what I want to do, eat what I want to eat, be where I want to be, hang out with who I want to hang out, to have those choices to be with who, when who, how who. I could do it all. You see, because what we talked about in yesterday's book club by T. Harv Eker, when we got to the segment talking about what rich people do versus what people that are not empowered, and I didn't want to say that they poor and broke. I just said what rich people is rich people believe they can have it all. The poor and middle class believe it's one or the other. They got to choose happiness or money. I got to choose fame or success or whatever, happiness or whatever it is they want to make the choices. No, rich people say, no, give me both. Give me all. I could do all of that. It don't have to be one or the other. So you may have already established your mind to say, no, I'm stuck. I'm good. I'll be all right. It'll be okay. Ain't nobody going to bother me over here because I'm over here doing my thing, and ain't nobody going to notice that I'm just stuck in my shell, uncomfortable. Lobster. Somebody got that on video. Lobster. What that lobster look like? You see, I ain't gonna be that. I don't know about you. I ain't gonna be that. You see, so the process of shedding it says, okay. So it starts with the D, the desire. You've got to have not just well, I think it'd be okay. And I used to always ask prospects, when I'm talking to them about business, and so what is it you really want? And I could absolutely tell whether they're going to be, who they're going to be, and how I'm going to work with them based on, well, if I could just get a couple of extra dollars and, things would be all right. We might, don't really need much, but if I can just get a little bit extra, things would be a little bit better about the household. That ain't the one. You see, because their desire isn't strong enough. Their desire, they're not hot enough. Okay, they're not cold. They're not hot. They're kind of lukewarm. And the good book. Well, it ain't Sunday here no more. But I promise you, I still ain't gonna cuss. Okay, it's already Monday over here. But in the good book, it says, "Be not hot, lukewarm. Be hot or cold." So you're being asked to make a decision. Ooh, that one was hot, right? Make a decision. Yeah, I scared somebody today. I scared somebody because I yelled at, make a decision. Like, oh my gosh, yes, make a decision. Imagine if I ran up on you and I'm a black man from Atlanta, Georgia, and you're a cool little Brit. I'm like, make a decision. Woo! Yeah, we got him though. We got him going. Make a decision. Be hot or cold. Don't be lukewarm. Lukewarm ain't gonna get you nowhere. You will be passive. You will be content. You will be in an ambivalent kind of situation, and that will not allow you to lead anyone because no one will follow you when you're ambivalent and you're indifferent. Okay, so you have got to have a white hot. I didn't say red hot. I said white hot desire. That means you've got to have a desire. And let me just stop you because we're probably going to run a little bit long tonight. I'm sorry, but I just got to get this thought process finished for you, right? But as we are talking about the desire, you cannot just kind of, well, I guess if it happens, it's okay. And if it doesn't happen, well, that's okay too. It'll be all right. It'll be okay. People will understand. It can't be that if you want to have success. You have got to make a decision that it's going to be all or nothing. Like I told somebody, if you want to go down in history, you got to be prepared to go down in flames. You got to be prepared to risk it all. It's funny notice how I'm saying that. I'm not saying, well, you can just kind of risk it. You can kind of do it if you want to. You can play it how you want to. No, there's enough bass in my voice. There's enough bass in my voice that the person who's on the floor above me might be hearing the bellowing of my the resonating tone of my baritone voice. The person to the left or to the right may be saying, what the heck is going on in there? Because I know he don't sound angry, but he does sound committed to whatever he said he's going to do. See, if you want it bad enough, you're going to do whatever it takes. How many of y'all know it's going to have to be whatever it takes? But don't get it twisted. Don't get messed up now here. Don't get it messed up here. Okay? Don't get it messed up. Because whether or not you're doing it, or you're being it, or you're living it, you're walking in it, you're walking in the knowing of your mentor or your leader, somebody can see you. Let me say it politely this way, and I'm going to leave it alone because I just want to put it out there. I don't want it to leave it to ambiguity. But see, when you ain't really walking in your all and in your optimal and in your fullest potential, the prospect who you're contacting will see it in your eyes. They will know who you are and who you're not, and they will make that decision long before you even ask them whether they want to get with you or not. They've already made a decision. No, you ain't serious. You ain't committed. You're not the one. I can't rely on you to lead me where I want to go. You see, the reason I don't tell anybody this independently, I never tell anybody this independently. When we have a council session, I will never say that to you independently. I'll say it in a general call because it's not my position to tell you that it's you. That they're looking at you and saying, well, you know, the concept sounds good. You know, everything sounds really good with this proposal, this opportunity. I just don't think I want to do it with you. There's always an answer. There's always a reason. Okay, but I'm saying there are probably some times that you're thinking it's them and it's not them, it's you, because they can see that your desire, you so lukewarm about it, you so ambivalent about it, you so laissez-faire, cavalier, whatever it is, that they just not gonna get with you because they're looking at you and they're saying, ain't no way, you can't lead yourself, how you gonna lead me? How is it possible that you're gonna lead me when I can see you're not leading you? You see, I say to people all the time, you may not like me because I may come across too strong. You know, I was listening, I think I shared this with you guys once before. I was listening to Maya Angelou, and she was, one of her poems, and she says, you may not like me because of my whatever, but it's okay. You see, I am here as that voice that's going to let you know the truth. I'm not going to be the person that will sacrifice your success and your future by soft-soaping it and allowing you to walk around thinking that you can see if the shoe fits, but I'm not going to let you think that there's no shoes, okay? I'm going to let you know you can try on the shoe and see if the shoe fits, but don't you think there's no shoe. Because that's not going to be my agenda. That's not going to be my disposition. I'm going to let it be told. Is it too strong? Is it too forceful? It might be for the person who's not yet ready to go through the phases of change, the awareness, the acceptance, the action of reconditioning. But that's okay, because I'm going to love on you. Long after this call, when you see me and want to take a picture, I'm going to be smiling. I'm going to be doing all what you need. Hey, come on now. Because I'm going to love on you. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to step into your, or how about we say like the lobster, under your rock, shed your shell, allow yourself to be nourished and grown so that you can then come back out and become what people will see you as, which is what you want to be so that you can achieve the financial freedom. So the desire, ladies and gentlemen, has to be adapted. You know what I'd love? Can I tell you something honestly? And I'm not talking to any one of you, but there's a few of you that I am talking to, but no one of you in particular. But I'll say to you, wouldn't it be nice for you to contact me and ask me, is my desire being shown enough? Am I demonstrating the power of my desire? Is my passion, is my purpose, does the power of me come through in when I speak to you? Or am I seeming wishy-washy? Am I seeming ambivalent? You know what? You see, because the interesting thing is if you come to me and ask me, because I already said I'm going to give you love, I'm going to love on you, chances are you might get the real truth with some love on it. You might go out into the world and try to, fake it, and then they see you right through you, and then all of a sudden you get shot down, and then your feelings get hurt. Let me tell you something. It's a lot easier when your mentor, coach, leader, guide, sensei is going to give you something that might make you better. It may be a little stronger than you was expecting, but at least it'll make you better than to go out there and somebody going to smack you upside your head and let you know it ain't going to be you. Okay, bruh, you ain't the one. And they may lie and tell you anything else, but it still comes down to you not the one. So ask me. Don't be afraid of that. Yeah, I know. Here I am, 3 o'clock in the morning, giving you a whole long soliloquy telling you, yeah, come on, talk to me. And now you're scared of me. You're going to break my shell. No, I'm not. But I'm definitely going to guide you through the challenge point so that you can become the best you that has ever been before. How about that? Is anyone okay with that? Is anyone okay? Is anyone okay with that? Becoming the best you. Becoming the best you that has ever been available to the world at large. Have you imagined what that would be like if your desire is just right? And then you start to adapt the skill. See, we ain't gonna spend a whole lot of time on skill tonight because last week and the week before we were talking about skill, but you probably didn't see how it all plays into the whole success model. Okay, but see, now tonight you understand that the desire has to be even greater. I have to be able to look at you and tell that your desire is so strong that you're going to run through a wall. Not for me, but that's for you. That between your desire and that when you step under that rock and that growth that comes from the development of your skill, when you develop that skill in the right way, then all of a sudden you put that F, that faith, that belief into the equation. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man. Man, oh man, man, oh man. I remember, and if you guys haven't had a chance to check this, if you haven't had a chance to check this, please do, because Earl Nightingale, he defined success. Okay, and let me give it to you. And some of you may want to write it so that in case you interpret faster, I'll give it to you. But he said, Earl Nightingale said, success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So that means it's a process. It's a progressive realization. That means it ain't going to happen overnight. Ain't going to happen just cause you didn't just sign up into your business and all of a sudden, bam. Oh, and watch this. You know the worst thing that can happen? And there's a whole nother training on this one. The worst thing that can happen is you can have overnight success and then you can be tricked and bamboozled into believing, what's that second thing? Some of y'all didn't even write it down. Let me read it for you. I'm going to go back to my notes. What's that second thing? Remember the first one was, come on now, I know somebody's going like, oh no, he's not going back there. Remember the first one was, don't know anything. Then the second was, they think they know it all. See, when you have that spontaneous, instantaneous, one-time success, sometimes you get it twisted. You know how I know? Because when you come into my midst and you start popping your collar and like start telling me, yeah, I'm all of this and I'm all of that. Don't you see? Can't you? Yeah, I read your resume. Meaning I saw your volume, okay? But remember, I also said I've got a memory, okay, that I'm keeping track. Yeah, I saw your volume that first week. Oops, let's move on. Let's flip the page back over. I don't. Somebody said, woo. Yeah, I saw your volume that first week. Oh my God. You know, I know King James is somewhere in the background saying, oh boy, licks. Yeah. But that desire, ladies and gentlemen, combined with that skill and your belief. You see, the book says that all things are possible to them that believe, but when your belief comes into conjunction with your skill that has been precipitated and perpetuated by your desire, that means you're willing to run through the wall. Remember, we talked about it a moment ago. You're willing to run through the brick wall. You're not, you ain't slowing down. You ain't scared of nothing. You are well prepared. You're not anticipating. You ain't got fear in your heart. You got ice water running through your veins. You're going to go get it done no matter what, whatever it takes. Okay, you're going to do it. And you've got the skill. And if your skill ain't 100%, it's okay because you got somebody right next to you who got the skill who can cover your back. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. You got somebody right there who can help you out. You all do, because I don't know where I'm showing up on your screen, but if I'm on your screen, you could point to me. and say, well, somebody in this environment has the skill. It might be King James, Emerald Consultant out of Trinidad. It might be Mr. Anderson Chester out of Trinidad, another Emerald Consultant. It might be Diamond Consultant, Mr. Marvin Sambo. It might be Mr. Gordon Steinheis out of Suriname. It may be anybody. It may be me. It may be Andrea Jimbala. It may be Igor Alberts. It may be any one of us. It may be any one of us that has the skill that will interpret and will adopt on your behalf until that time comes when yours is adequately prepared. Am I right or am I right? So there is no need for fear. There is no need for fear because guess what? The faith. See, like I said, it's already Monday, but the faith, you know what it is. You know what it is. It's that thing that's what you're hoping for, right? I didn't want to sound like I was quoting out of the book, but you know what that faith is. It's that thing you've been hoping for. The substance of things, what? See, so if you don't have the hope and the belief and you don't know it's coming and you don't see it and you're not walking in it and you're not walking behind it, you see, you can't tell me that I'm walking in your knowing and you ain't doing what I'm doing because you're out there not developing your skill, not listening to what I listen to, not sounding like me. If you don't sound like the cash cow, if you don't sound like the night owl, if you don't sound like anything, then I don't know. You don't sound like Miles Monroe. You don't sound like E.T. Like you don't sound like Eric Thomas. Somebody said to me today, you know you sound like Eric Thomas. Well, I didn't realize. I just think because maybe we both a little bit boisterous and we both a little bit strong with our disposition, you know. But maybe some days I sound like Les Brown. But if you ain't sounding like that, then why are you telling me that you really are all in and you about to go get this thing and win? Why? Because it's not true. Not until Michael Jackson said it. You got to start with that man in the mirror. You got to start with that man. And for the ladies on the call, that woman, that woman, that man, that whomever, you got to start there and make that decision that I ain't gonna quit. Because you see, let me tell you something, just this handful of people assembled tonight is enough to just bring about the financial freedom that any one of us has ever hoped for. Because as we wrap this call up tonight, I'm gonna let you know that someone had to have had that mindset, that purpose in their mind, that inkling, that embryonic thought that says, hey, I want to do something that can change the world. Okay? They had a purpose. And they loved their purpose so greatly that they put the passion right in it, okay? And as I always talk about the collective body that is congruent with that same purpose and that same passion will bring about the power to make it happen for real, for real, for real. And then at the end of the day, you. Oh, you're not sure who I'm talking about? You. Oh, who? You. And you. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you become financially free. You see, there must be that sacrifice. You don't owe it to me. It's not that you owe me, because I tell you all the time, I want to see you at the top. Why? It's easy, because the bottom is way too crowded. Who wants to be at the bottom? I'm tired of seeing people at the bottom. I was at the bottom, struggling, wondering. I told the people here in London, I said, I used to watch people. I was, I don't know, back then, I don't know if they was calling it a creeper. I was creeping on Facebook. I was looking at some of the top leaders in the industry that looked like me. I was looking at them brothers that looked like me. They had the same kind of skin texture like me. But what was interesting is while they had the same kind of skin color, skin texture like me, they had 2 eyes, they had 2 ears, 2 arms, 2 legs, a nose, and a mouth, just like me. So why wasn't I winning just like they were winning? And I realized the awareness came upon me. And I'm thankful for it because, you know, it is said that when the student is ready. But you know what? There's some of us that when the teachers show up, you so busy popping your collar like, look at me. You know, I'm all of this and I'm all of that. And then all of a sudden you wonder where that teacher go. Because I'm going to tell you this, one thing for sure, that teacher ain't hanging around when you ain't humble enough to understand where you done gone wrong. But I'm prayerful that you can see what it is I'm sharing with you tonight, because it took me years. And again, my purpose of communicating this on tonight's call is to shortcut your transformation, is to accelerate and to compress the time between you signing on this very last. Somebody go ahead and type that in there. This is my very last app that I'm signing up for a company. You see, I'd love for that to be the case. Do I know that for sure? Well, I want to believe it. This is my very last app that I'm signing. I don't need to have to sign up again for some other deal. You get my drift? Oh, that don't mean they ain't gonna call me. That don't mean they ain't gonna try to pitch me. That don't mean they ain't gonna try to tell me how well that other thing looked and how the pie in the sky and how, you know, this one did this and this one did that and look who's coming and you can get in first. And they, you know, the old tap rooting thing. And if you get your position right now, you could just be here just because the wave is coming and we about to pre-launch right now and you can have that top spot. You know all of that. Because where you are right now, having signed your last app and being in your best company, being exposed to some of the best information with the best examples of how you can make $1 million a month, that standard now has been elevated. It ain't about making $10,000 a month. It ain't about making $100,000 a month. We got folks running around with no prior experience making $1 million a month. You can't handle it? You can't handle it? Handle the truth. Handle the truth, because it's happening. It's happening right before your very eyes. And I'm sorry if I offend you. I am sorry if I make you confront the reality that until you put yourself in the proper stead to get that it's not going to happen. It will become elusive. It will hide from you. It'll slip away from you. But you have got to make that decision that what? I have got to change. Starting with who? The man or the woman in the mirror. It's got to start. When? Right now. Why? Because it's got to be me. Your desire, your skill, your faith, your belief, your commitment, everything that's in that will bring about your success. And let me tell you something. That's all I want for you. That's all I want for you. How many of y'all really want your success? How many of y'all want it right now? How many of you want to see it happen? Okay, this is going to sound like an altar call. How many of y'all, and I ain't going to pass the basket. How many of y'all ready for that transformation? You know how on those Sunday nights, how many of y'all ready, brothers and sisters, for a transformation in your life? And I'm not poking fun, I'm just being real. It's about time, and you got the right set of circumstances. Tell me you don't. Go ahead and tell me you don't have it. There are dozens of people assembled here of the same mindset who have the same thoughts and beliefs and desires, and we can all go do this together. Do you believe it? You making excuses? No. Believe it and know that it is possible. Well, guys, that's all for me in London, England. And don't feel bad. Sean, I'm doing this just for you, bro. Because last week, last week I had you up till all hours of the night. Then you had to get up all early in the morning and go catch that flight. Well, don't feel bad, bro. It's 3:10. And I got a 5:45 wake up, got to be in the car at 6:15 on my way to the airport to check in. I want to have drive to the airport. I want to have drive to the airport to catch that flight, that international flight to Mumbai. So see, I'm just letting you know, bro. I do it to me too. Don't let Ed Hartley book your ticket. You're going to get up with the crows. You're going to go have to get up It's okay. I'm doing it for me too, Doc. But is that the sacrifice? Think about it for a moment. Think about it. What are you willing to sacrifice? I had a young man tonight. He's going to be a diamond. He's 23 years old. Okay? 23 years old here. And what's so funny about him is he lying to me. In my face, lying to me. I said, how old are you, young man? He said, I'm 27. Everybody looked at him like, you know you're not 27. He said, well, I want to be 27. He's 23 years old. He said, it's so hard being 23 because then people don't want to take me serious. I'm like, come on, man. I ain't going to cry for you. You're 23 years old, about to be a diamond. And I said to him tonight, I said, I need you to sacrifice something. But you see, I had been watching him all day. I had oh, Lord, it's all right. I love my flight times. I'm good. Listen, y'all, I'm good. Don't feel bad for a brother. I can do this. By the way, if y'all want to text me in about 2.5 hours, go ahead and text my number, ring my phone in case. Make sure I get up. Can't miss those flights, can't miss those connections. But the young man was busy telling me how, you know, what he wants to do, and he wants to get diamond done, okay? And I'm like, good. And I said, what you prepared to sacrifice? What you prepared to give up? And he said, well, I haven't thought about that, Mr. Hartley. I said, well, here's what I want you to do. You see, because I've been watching him and I've been listening to him, and he'd been at this dinner, and I learned a little something about this young man, that every time they go out to dinner, and we were at this incredible Indian restaurant, we had all kind of, you know, lamb and curry and I mean, things, man, it was Indian. Yes, I had curry tonight. I had all kinds of curry. I had the spicy curry. I had the mango chutney. I had all kind of stuff. I had the paneer. I had the chicken tikka. I had the, man, I was all in that Indian food. And here this 23-year-old, the only person, we got naan. We got special kind of naan bread coming to the table, roti coming to the table. And here he come ordering what they call here in London, chips. Yeah, they came with a bucket of fries. And they said, you always ordering fries everywhere we go. Well, he loves him some fries. He said, and what happens, he says, is every time he orders fries, people come and start taking fries from him. But he always orders fries. I said, well, that's what you're going to sacrifice. He says, I don't want you touching. Everywhere he goes, he orders fries, but no fries. No chips until you go down. And he looked at me and he's like, all right, Mr. Hartley, I'm going to do it. He said, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to not do tonight. I am not taking a picture with you, because I will not take a picture with you until I am diamond. I said, now we're talking. I said, and when you take that picture with me as a diamond, you go ahead and plaster it all over social media, Facebook, this book, that book, any book you can find. Put it wherever. Instagram, Telegram, you know, MoneyGram, I don't care what you do. Put it on Snapchat, WeChat, ButterChat, I don't care, Chap Lips, put it anywhere. But he was willing to sacrifice his greatest passion and pleasure, his chips, no chips. Well, what you willing to sacrifice? Because everyone that was assembled made a commitment that they were going to sacrifice something. And see, though they didn't have to tell me what it is, only they know. See, them and their maker will know what you sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice? Some sleep? Well, what? You going to sacrifice some sleep? Sacrifice some TV? Sacrifice when you get in the car instead of listening to Beyonce and whoever else? I mean, you know, I was trying to see who else I might, you know, throw in the mix. You know, I'm still in old school from over the weekend, stuff I was listening to. You know, I was listening to little Frankie Beverly. You know, I ain't even listening to Frankie Beverly. I listened to Frankie Beverly on my birthday. Okay. But are you willing to sacrifice turning on that radio and turning your car into your rolling library? Are you willing to pour into yourself in your car and tune out the noise? Because see, every time you play their music, you paying them. How about you put yourself in a position where every time you're rolling in your car, you develop in your mind to pay you. You see, that's the mission right there. But sacrifice something so that you can have Okay, you got to be prepared to do what others won't, so that you can have what others don't. All right, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate y'all so much. We're going to be on the road, and if I can check my calendar, let me just check my calendar. I believe next Sunday is Christmas. Check the calendar. Check the calendar. Yes, indeed. Next Christmas, I'm sorry, next Sunday is Christmas. So we will not be doing a global mentorship call next Sunday night. But I can assure you, and y'all can let me know. Did you enjoy tonight's call? Was this beneficial to some of you? Let me go ahead and open up. I want to see the view. I want to see how y'all looking. Some of y'all looking at me. All right, Sam. I got a little thumbs up from you, Sam. All right. I got a thumbs up from Sean, and who else? Patrice gave me 2 thumbs up. Jackie, you gave me a thumbs up. Robert, you good? All right. I don't know who else is showing their face over here. Gabriel, am I seeing a thumbs up over there, Gabriel? I see a little shadow. All right. Rosin got a thumb up there. Who else got a thumb up? Anybody else got a? Haha, Gordon. Yeah, my man, brother, we got it. Hey, listen, Gordon, we're going to get that Zoom call done. We're going to launch Venezuela the way we promised to do it, okay? Just understand, even if we got to do it all hours of the night, it's going to be easier for me when I get to Asia, because it'll be a different time. Trust me, it's going to be good. Anyone else? Did anyone get a little benefit? Ricardo, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Anyone else? Let me just go on to this next page and see if anybody else who's not showing their face. I see some folks who they got their nice, pretty smiles up there, but we got no images. All right, come on now. Okay, I see a hand went up, and I'm gonna unclick King James, because it's not often the king is keeping a quiet tongue right there, King James. But I'm watching you. All right, I see Marcia's got her hand up. That's a thumbs up for me, guys. If you found this beneficial, Princess, I got you over here. Amarachi, you don't even have to say a word. Patricia, I got you. You don't even have to say a word. Okay, Tanya, I see you. But let me tell you this, guys. Go out, put it into action. Michelle, and Ivan, yes, I see you. Kashif, I see you. Marcia, I see you. All right. Eric, I see you. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's make this 2017 your best year ever. Every last one of you deserves having a 7-figure income. The conditions have been set. My conditions have been set. It is time. We are going to do some incredible things, and we're going to do it all together. And as I always say, we will be together at the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. Good night. God bless, and I'll see you. All right. Have a great night.